Sophia was a highly respected CEO, known for her sharp mind, ambition, and her ability to turn struggling companies into success stories. She had built her empire from the ground up, making her way through the corporate world with grace and grit. But what made Sophia stand out the most wasn't just her ability to close multi-million-dollar deals or lead a company, it was her belief in empathy and humility. When it came time to hire a new chief operating officer, she knew exactly what kind of person she wanted. It wasn't about the resume or the accolades. It was about the character. She needed someone who truly understood the value of every role in the company, no matter how small. So, she came up with a plan, a test that no one would expect. Sophia's office was situated in a sleek, modern building in the heart of the city. As the interviews began, she made sure everything seemed normal on the surface. Her assistant called in the first candidate, Marcus, a confident, young man with a polished appearance and a solid resume. Sophia slipped into a janitor's uniform, the same one the building's cleaning crew wore, old, slightly faded, with rubber gloves and a mop in hand. She hid behind a supply closet at the back of the lobby, well out of view, keeping her presence unnoticed as Marcus entered. Marcus walked through the lobby, his phone glued to his ear, oblivious to his surroundings. He passed Sophia without so much as a glance, engrossed in a business conversation. It bothered her, but she didn't react. She made a mental note. The next candidate, David, entered with a smile and a handshake for the receptionist. As he passed by the lobby, he gave Sophia, still mopping the floor, a quick nod, a shallow, polite acknowledgement before continuing toward the interview room. She wasn't surprised, but it was clear he was only following the basic social script of "don't ignore the staff." Sophia let him go. She was looking for something more. Then, the final candidate, Adam, arrived. He walked in confidently, but as soon as he stepped into the lobby, he stopped. He looked at Sophia, then at the floor, and offered a small, genuine smile. "Can I give you a hand with that?" Adam asked. Sophia was momentarily taken aback. Most people would have passed by, too focused on the task ahead to even consider stopping. But here was Adam, someone she had never met, offering help to a janitor without a second thought. "No, I'm good, thank you," Sophia replied, continuing her walk. But she was impressed. It wasn't just the offer, it was the way he noticed her, the way he saw the value in every person, no matter their role. Adam lingered for a moment, watching her walk. "I always think, no matter how high you get in life, you should never forget where you came from. The people who clean the spaces, who answer the phones, they're the ones who make it all run smoothly. A leader who can't respect that, they've missed something important." Sophia smiled, but she didn't let her guard down. This was her test, and she needed to be sure. "Not many people would agree with you," she said, wiping down the floor. "That's probably true," Adam said with a shrug. "But I think leadership is about more than just directing others. It's about seeing the whole picture, understanding every role that contributes to the success of the company." Sophia's heart swelled with quiet approval. This was the person she was looking for. Adam had passed the test, not because he said the right things in the interview room, but because he demonstrated humility, respect, and a true understanding of leadership long before stepping into her office. As Adam walked into the interview room, Sophia stood still, her heart racing. This was a decision she couldn't take lightly. She had found a candidate who valued what mattered most, what it meant to be a real leader. Sophia watched as Adam walked confidently into the interview room, closing the door behind him. She took a moment, standing there in the dimly lit lobby, the mop still in her hand, her mind racing. The test had been simple, but it had revealed more than she could have anticipated. She hadn't expected Adam's reaction to be so genuine. It wasn't about the job or the resume or the polished answers he would give inside. It was his respect for the people who made everything run smoothly, the unsung heroes of every company. His ability to see value in everyone, not just those in power, was exactly what she needed in a leader. She watched through the frosted glass of the door, catching snippets of their conversation. Adam was confident, but there was a humility in his tone that set him apart from the others. He wasn't here to impress her with his qualifications, he was here to show her who he really was. Sophia leaned back against the wall, the weight of her decision pressing on her chest. She had learned a lot from this exercise, but one question lingered: was she willing to make the right choice, despite her gut feeling that Adam might not be the typical candidate she had imagined? Could she trust her instincts enough to hire someone who had passed the test, someone who didn't fit into the usual mold? After what felt like an eternity, the door to the interview room opened. Adam stepped out, his expression unreadable. He paused for a brief moment when he saw Sophia still standing there, the mop still in hand. "I have to admit," he said, his voice light but earnest, "I didn't expect the interview to go like this." Sophia chuckled softly, finally setting the mop down. "I'm sure it's been different from what you're used to." Adam shrugged, a smile tugging at the corner of his mouth. "It's been eye-opening, to say the least." They locked eyes for a brief moment, and Sophia could see the sincerity in his gaze. She hadn't just tested him with a mop and a lobby, she had tested his character, and he had passed with flying colors. But there was still something inside her that hesitated. She had built her company on a foundation of strong decisions, and every decision had consequences. She took a deep breath, crossing the room slowly toward him. "Let's sit down," she said, motioning toward the nearby chairs. "I need to talk to you." Adam's expression shifted. He was clearly curious but didn't seem nervous. He followed her, taking a seat across from her. They sat in silence for a moment, the air thick with anticipation. Finally, Sophia spoke. "You've done something very few people would have done, Adam. You saw the value in a role that most people would overlook. You understand leadership in a way that goes beyond titles and boardrooms." Adam nodded but didn't say anything. Sophia continued, her voice steady but with an edge of something more, something unspoken. "I'm not just looking for someone to fill a position. I need someone who truly understands what it means to build a team. Someone who doesn't just lead but lifts everyone around them." Adam's gaze never wavered. "That's what I believe leadership is about." Sophia paused, carefully choosing her next words. "But it's not just about the words, Adam. It's about action. And I've seen that you act, not just when it's easy, but when it's tough." The silence stretched on for a bit, as if both of them were weighing the gravity of what had just been said. Finally, Adam leaned forward, his tone quiet but confident. "I understand. I know that actions speak louder than words. And if you give me the chance, I prove to you that I can lead this company, not just with vision, but with heart." Sophia studied him for a long moment, her mind running through the implications of her decision. Adam was a risk, but wasn't every great leader a bit of a risk? Before she could say anything, the office phone rang, breaking the moment. She hesitated for a second but motioned for Adam to wait. As she picked up the phone, her thoughts were still on him, the decision she needed to make. The call was short, but when she hung up, Sophia knew her mind had been made up. She turned back to Adam, who was still sitting patiently, waiting for her next words. "Adam," she said, her voice calm but final, "you've passed the test. But the real challenge is yet to come." Adam sat there, waiting for her response, trying to read Sophia's expression. She had a way of keeping her cards close to her chest, and he could sense the weight of her decision. The room was filled with the hum of tension, his anticipation palpable. Sophia's gaze never left him, and for a moment, he thought she might say something different, something that would change the course of his future. But then she spoke, her words slow and deliberate. Adam, she began, her voice firm, you've shown me exactly what I needed to see. You understand leadership in a way that no one else in this room has. She paused, watching his eyes brighten as he absorbed her words. But, as I said, the real challenge is yet to come, she continued. This company is not just about the money, the contracts, or the meetings. It's about the people, about building something that lasts, something that's bigger than all of us. It's easy to get lost in titles and power. It's harder to stay grounded and remember what really matters. That's what I'm looking for. Sophia stood up from her desk and walked over to the window, staring out at the city skyline. Adam watched her, trying to read between the lines. She was a woman of few words, but when she spoke, you listened. He'd learned that much from their brief interaction. She turned back toward him. I didn't hire you to be just another executive, Adam. I hired you because you have something rare, humility in a world that demands ego. You see value in people, regardless of their title or status, and that is something I need in my leadership team. Adam's heart raced. He had prepared for this moment, rehearsed his responses, imagined everything he would say. But this was something unexpected. A test of character that he had passed without even realizing it. It wasn't just about the mop or the lobby. It was about understanding the bigger picture, seeing the company as a whole, and valuing everyone that helped make it run smoothly. Sophia smiled, and for the first time, it wasn't the smile of formality or professionalism. It was genuine, the kind of smile you give when you found something you've been looking for without even knowing it. I'm offering you the position, she said simply, her voice steady. But I want you to understand something. I'm not just giving you a job. I'm entrusting you with a vision. This company has always been about more than profits. It's been about making a difference, about building a culture where everyone feels valued, no matter their role. Adam couldn't believe what he was hearing. He had expected to hear about salaries, performance metrics, board meetings, the usual corporate talk. But this was something completely different. I won't let you down, he said, his voice unwavering, filled with a new sense of purpose. I believe in that vision too. Sophia nodded, and her tone softened just slightly. I know you do. But I also know that it's not always going to be easy. There will be days when you'll have to make tough calls. You'll have to decide between what's right for the bottom line and what's right for the people. And sometimes, the right choice won't be the easiest one. Adam leaned forward, his expression determined. I've always believed that success isn't just about the outcome, it's about the journey, the people you impact along the way. Sophia studied him for a moment, her eyes calculating but kind. That's exactly why I chose you. You get it. You understand that leadership isn't about taking the credit. It's about raising others up, making them feel like they matter. She took a deep breath, as if preparing herself for the next step. I've had a lot of people pass through this company. It's smart, ambitious, driven people. But not many of them understood the deeper purpose of what we do here. And I need someone who not only gets it but can lead others to get it too. Adam's mind was racing. He had imagined this moment 1,000 times in his head, but now that it was happening, it felt different. He wasn't just stepping into a high-powered role, he was stepping into a legacy. A legacy that Sophia had built, brick by brick, with sweat, tears, and a relentless belief in her values. I won't disappoint you, Adam said again, more to himself than to her. Sophia smiled once more, this time with a warmth that seemed to dissolve all the tension that had built up in the room. I don't expect you to. I think we can do great things together, Adam. But remember, this isn't just about you or me. It's about the people who work with us. It's about making sure they know we value them. As she said the last words, She extended her hand across the desk. Adam didn't hesitate for a second. He stood up and shook her hand firmly, feeling the weight of the responsibility he was about to take on. "Welcome aboard," Sophia said, her voice a mix of authority and encouragement. "Let's build something great." Adam smiled, his heart full. This wasn't just a job offer. It was a partnership, one based on mutual respect, shared values, and a commitment to something greater than either of them. And just like that, the journey had begun. From the mop in the lobby to this moment of truth, Adam had learned that leadership wasn't about titles, accolades, or even business acumen. It was about seeing the worth in everyone, treating every role with respect, and understanding that the true power of a company came from the people who made it thrive. Adam was ready. And so was Sophia. The future had arrived, and it was time to make it something extraordinary. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and leave your thoughts in the comment section below.